open up to calls. And doctors, before I open up to calls, let me tell you, thank you very much. Lot of people have been calling in with queries. People who are going through chemotherapy at different stages, different issues, and immunosuppressed patients. A lot of people nervous about how things will be, especially with the possibility of a prolonged lockdown. I'll start with the first question, which I'm putting from my side, and I'd like Dr. Srikhande to take that. Dr. Srikhande, my first question to you is that are both cancer survivors and those suffering from cancer immune compromised? And how does COVID affect them? Let's start with a broad question to you, and then we'll have some calls and tweets as well. Dr. Srikhande.
Yeah, so I think cancer itself is a reflection of a compromised immune status of the patient. So any sort of patient with a cancer, the immunity is already compromised. And when we treat these patients, we are already making them even more sick in order to make them all right. So whether it's giving them chemotherapy, whether it's treating them with radiotherapy or doing radical surgery to try and remove the tumors, you are actually making them sick for a while. Now on top of that, we have this challenge of COVID, which is clearly affecting and targeting those who are immunocompromised. So it's certainly a challenge, and the challenge that we as oncologists face is to try and differentiate who would be the low risk, who would be the moderate risk, who would be the severe risk, and then strategize treatment.
Put it on the screen. Okay. So Satyajit is calling in from Gulbarga. That's our first question. Satyajit, hi. Can you hear me? And that question I'd like Satyajit, can you hear me? Arnab here.
Yeah, Arnab, good evening. Good evening, panel.
Good evening. Good evening. Satyajit, where are you calling from and what's your lockdown question? We've got a panel of oncologists with us today.
Yeah. Dear doctors, I want to know, people who have been cured from cancer disease, who are already undergone the treatment and who are out of it now, what are the chances of they getting affected with COVID-19? Is it same at par with others, or they are more vulnerable to this?
Okay, let me take that question to London. That question is coming in from Gulbarga, Satyajit, and your question will be answered by Dr. Debashish Ghosh from London. The question is specific that does a past history of cancer have an impact? People who have recovered, been through the treatment, does that keep them still at greater risk of COVID? Dr. Ghosh.
So we have to go by evidence currently available to us, which is very limited. And what we have learned from China, which is a very small study which is coming out from there, and what we are seeing here right now, people who have undergone cancer chemotherapy over a period of 6 months to a year are at similar risk as anybody else, and they are not as immunocompromised as expected, like if they were in the acute phase of treatment or when they are undergoing treatment at this point of time. In fact, I just came out of consulting one of my patients who is a cardiologist, is in the front line seeing patients. She had completed her chemotherapy 2 years ago. She got COVID and she is recovered, and still she's in the front line right now.